From the moment we clock in to our first job, we are trained to operate on a strict equation of effort and reward. Survival in this environment requires a constant exchange. You provide a measurable service, and in return, you receive the resources you need to live. That math bleeds into our psychology. We start to measure our worth by our daily output, keeping a silent score in our relationships, and demanding reciprocity just to feel secure. Because our earthly survival depends so heavily on this economy of merit, we naturally assume the entire universe runs on the same accounting system. When our health fails and we find ourselves vulnerable, we instinctively drag that transactional ledger into our spiritual lives. We start running the numbers. Have I done enough to warrant an intervention? Is my faith strong enough? Is my heart sincere enough to earn a miracle? This often turns into a desperate negotiation. We offer to serve God for the rest of our lives, hoping a massive commitment of future labor will trigger a healing response today. But when the physical condition persists, a psychological vacuum opens up. The silence feels like an unpaid invoice, leaving us to wonder what part of the contract we violated. The flaw in this thinking is our own inconsistency. Human effort is too unreliable to ever produce the flawless track record required to guarantee our side of a divine bargain. Trying to balance the scales of healing with human merit leaves us exhausted. We trap ourselves in an impossible cycle, trying to qualify for a gift we simply do not have the currency to buy. God does not dispense healing as a retroactive paycheck for your past service. He also does not evaluate the current purity of your intentions and reward your sincerity with a restored immune system. There's a widespread assumption God operates like an investor, scanning our timeline. If he foresees future obedience, he approves healing today for a return on investment. But tying miracles to anticipated performance erases grace, turning divine action into a cold calculation. The sacrifice Jesus made on the cross is not a reaction to what we might accomplish for him decades from now. When you anchor physical restoration to any timeline of human performance, past, present, or future, it becomes a fragile reward, dependent entirely on our ability to execute. If human effort provides no footing for restoration, the foundation must exist entirely outside of ourselves. This completely shifts our focus to the cross of Christ as the definitive, singular basis for God's restoring action. Healing flows outward as a direct blessing secured by Jesus. It is a one-way extension of grace, rather than a response triggered by human action. To see why this matters, we have to look at the macro context. Sin introduced death and physical sickness and deep separation into our environment. Jesus stepped into that environment with a specific mandate to undo the works of the devil and reverse these exact effects of the fall. Physical recovery is an active invasion. It is the reality of God's kingdom breaking into a broken system, proving that his nature is to redeem what was corrupted. Understanding this theological reality relieves a massive psychological weight during our most vulnerable moments. You never have to wonder if you are worthy enough to be healed, because the provision relies entirely on the merit of the only one who actually is. This puts our daily actions in the right sequence. We serve and obey as a joyful response to what has already been given, not as a way to qualify for assistance. Because this restoring grace is bolted to the foundation of Christ, it remains insulated from our failures, our doubts, and our anxieties. Every physical restoration is a victory over decay, yet a healed body remains subject to time. This suggests the cross was designed to accomplish something far more enduring than a temporary recovery. Repairing a joint or fighting off an illness extends our timeline in a temporary body. Reconciliation pulls the soul into an eternal relationship with God. God's greatest provision is Jesus Christ, offering a reconciliation that outlasts the physical body. Every instance of healing we see today is a preview. It points directly to a coming cosmic reality where every corrupted cell and fractured system will be made completely new. God's grand design encompasses the whole person, spirit, soul, and body. He is inviting humanity back into the unbroken life he intended from the very beginning.